In this section, we're going to go over the theme settings. These are settings for the overall theme, so you'll want to think about the overall look and feel that you'll want for the website. You'll want it to match whatever your branding is, coordinate with colors in your logo, things like that, because these are colors and fonts and things that will follow the customer throughout the site. So you'll want it to definitely speak to your own unique image. So within here, you can change text like headings, which would be if you put your business name here, the menu colors, body text, the overall text that would be on your terms and conditions page, your product descriptions, things like that. Sale price in red. That's actually a very good color to stick with. Button colors. Form fields are fields where your customer is inputting information, so things like the checkout. Image overlays, that's really things like on the home page. We'll go into more detail, but this you'll want to play around with as well. You can change the background of the entire website. So for the purposes of this demo, what I will do is change the headings to blue, which impacts the links. And let's change the background of the site to a light gray. And as you can see, you have a lot of flexibility with colors. So by clicking on this center portion, you can really just drag and play around with whatever color you want until you find one that you like. So I'm going to set it at a very light gray. If you have a hex code, you can also just copy and paste it right in here. You can also decide to go with transparency. So I've made a couple of changes and I'm going to save what I've changed and click this arrow here to move on to the next piece. Typography. That's the font throughout the site. You can change the sizing and you can change the font itself. So headings and buttons, this is considered a heading. This is a heading. Let's see. That's an example of a button. So let's change the font. And let's choose that one. So you can really go through. If you know the name of a font, you can type it right into the search bar and find it if it's installed in Shopify. Or you can just scroll down the list until you find one that you like. Okay, so I like this one, so we'll set up this one for headings. So as you can see, the menu headings down here changed. The subscribe button changed. Other headings throughout the site changed. And if you put your business name here, that changed as well. And I can make it a little bigger. And I can change the body text. So the body text is details, things like your product description. And again, you can really just play around until you find text that you like. So, and see it changed right there. So hit select, I'll make it a little bigger. And click save. Click my button to go back to search. So this will just change a few minor things. If you want to show vendor, you'll want to do that if you're product or service is in an industry where vendor makes a big difference. Show price. Customers usually want to know the price, so that's good to select as a default. And already selected is enable product selections, which will just give a little more robust search results. And always remember to click save. Social media, so you'll want to put any of your social media links in here. So if you have a Facebook page or Instagram, a YouTube page, and this will be the link used throughout the site. Your Favicon, that is the little image that shows up here. So where Shopify uses their little shopping bag, you'll want to probably design a favicon that reflects your brand. You can do that in Photoshop or any photo editor software. It's teeny tiny, so you'll want to choose something that's still bold and visible even at a small size. Add to cart notification. This will just, after the customer clicks add to cart, give a little extra reinforcement to tell the customer that, yes, the item is added to your cart. I recommend leaving this setting on as it gives reassurance as the customer is shopping your site that it's, yes, I selected it, it's in my cart now. Checkout. So throughout your checkout, you can select a background image. You can select a different version of your logo to show. You can change the background color of your fields, and you can really customize the checkout to make it your own. You can change the font of the headings of the body on your checkout page. A few colors, so if you want the button to be something different or highlights or links to be something different. Errors are red by default, which I recommend leaving. That way it stands out and the customer knows where they need to go back to change, update their address or anything else that was an error. And then theme style. So some of the Shopify themes come with different styles by default. So they already have colors and fonts selected that have a slightly different look. So the default is what gets installed by default. This one, the debut theme, happens to have a light version as well. So I selected that and you can see it changed the font and the colors. You definitely want to take a look at this first before you start making changes because it will overwrite any changes that you've made. And I'm going to leave it on light and click change style. And those are all of the settings that you can adjust within your theme settings module.